Question number 1 reads, the time t taken to buy fuel at a filling station varies directly as the number of vehicles in the queue and varies inversely as the number of pumps P available at the filling station. In a station with 5 pumps, it takes 10 minutes to fuel 20 vehicles. Find the A. Relationship between T, P, and V. B. Time it takes to fuel 50 vehicles at the station with 2 pumps. C. Number of pumps required to fuel 40 vehicles in 20 minutes. Alright, you can see that T varies directly as V and inversely as P. So let us write it. Solution. T is directly proportional to V and inversely proportional to P, right? Yeah, that's what we have, which implies that T is equal to the constant of proportionality K multiplied by V divided by P. So now let us make K the subject. K will be equal to T multiplied by P divided by V. Just multiply both sides by the reciprocal of V divided by P, which is P divided by V. Alright, remember the question stated that in a station with 5 pumps, meaning P is equal to 5. So let me write it here. P is equal to 5. Then what? It takes 10 minutes to fuel 20 vehicles. T is 10 and V is 20. T is equal to 10 and V is equal to 50. Let me confirm. No, 20, sorry. So this should be 20, not 50. Okay. The A part, we're asked to write the relationship between T, P, and V. So we have to find the value of K, then we substitute it where? Exactly here. So you can see that K will be equal to T, which is 10, multiplied by P. P is 5, then divide by what? 20. 10 can divide itself 1 time and it can divide 20 2 times. So we have K to be equal to 5 divided by 2. So we need to plug it back here in order to find the relationship. So T is equal to KV over P, which means that T is equal to K is 5 divided by 2 times V divided by P, and you can drop 2 down, right? So finally we have our T to be equal to 5V divided by 2P. This is the relationship between T, V, and P. So we are done with A part. Then let us move on to the B part. The B part, it says we should find the time it takes to fuel 50 vehicles at the station with 2 pumps. So you can see that V is 50 and P is 2. So V is 50, P is equal to 2, and time, which we are looking for, is unknown. We are going to use this formula. T is equal to 5V divided by 2P, which means that T is equal to 5 multiplied by 50 divided by 2 multiplied by 2. All right, let me reduce it because I know that 2 can divide itself 1 time, and this can divide 2 can divide 50 exactly 25 times. So we have 5 times 25, which is 125 divided by 2. So this is the time taken, which is 125 divided by 2 minutes. And you can write it in decimal as 62.5 minutes. So here is the B part. Then the C part. The C part, we are asked to find the number of pumps required to fuel 40 vehicles in 20 minutes. 40 vehicles in 20 minutes. 40 vehicles in 20 minutes. So we're looking for the number of pumps. The same formula, T is equal to 5V divided by 2P. Already you can see that T is given as 20, which is equal to 5 times V, which is 40, divided by 2 multiplied by P. We are looking for the P. All right, 2 can divide itself one time, and it can divide this exactly 20 times. So we have 20 equal to 5 times 20. 5 times 2 is 10, and other 0, divided by P. Just switch 20 and P. P is equal to 100 divided by 20, and 100 divided by 20 is equal to 5. So P is equal to 5, which means that it requires 5 pumps to fuel 40 vehicles in 20 minutes. Here is question number 2 of WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination, the theory questions. The question reads, a car traveled a distance of 2x plus 13 km at a speed of 67.5 km per hour. Another journey of 5x minus 20 km at a speed of 72 km per hour. If the total time of the entire journey was 90 minutes, we're asked to find the value of x. All right, let's get started. Remember that speed is equal to distance divided by the time, which implies that the time is equal to the distance divided by the speed, because we are going to work on the time. So we have 2 separate journeys. Let's start with time number 1, which is equal to distance divided by the speed for that journey. So the first one, this is what we have as the distance, that is 2x plus 13. 2x plus 13 divided by the speed for that particular journey is 67.5. So we have 67.5. So for the second t, which is distance divided by the speed, we have the distance as 5x minus 20. 5x minus 20 divided by the speed, which is 72 km per hour. All right, t1 plus t2 will give us the total time, right? Total time taken. So therefore, t1 is 2x plus 13 divided by 67.5 plus t2, which is 5x minus 20 divided by 72, right? This will give us total time, which is given from the question as 90 minutes. So we're going to write it as 90 divided by 60 just to convert it into hour, because our speed is in hour, right? Is per hour. All right, so this is the equation we are going to solve for x. First of all, I would like to transform this decimal number into a fraction, because I know that 67.5 is the same thing as 675 divided by 10, right? Which to the lowest term can be written as 135 divided by 2, because 675 divided by 5 is 135 and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So instead of this, we are going to replace it with 135 divided by 2. So our equation becomes 2x plus 13 divided by 135 divided by 2 plus 5x minus 20 divided by 72, and this is equal to 90 divided by 60. But remember that these two can multiply the numerator, so let's do that. And I'm going to do that directly. 2 times 2x, that is going to give us 4x, plus 2 times 13, that is going to give us 26, divided by 135, then plus 5x minus 20 divided by 72. This is equal to 90 divided by 60. Now I would like to clear the fractions by multiplying every single term by the LCM of these 3 numbers. And the LCM of these 3 numbers is 1080. So we are going to multiply whole through by 1080. 135 can go into 1080 exactly 8 times. So that 8 you have to multiply by the numerator, right? 4x plus 26 plus 72 can go into 1080 exactly 15 times. So we have 15 multiplied by 5x minus 20 equals 60 can go into 1080 exactly 18 times. So we have 18 multiplied by 90. So now let us expand the brackets. We have 8 times 4, which is 32. 32x plus 8 multiplied by 26 is 208 plus 15 multiplied by 5 is 75x minus 15 times 20 is 300. And this is equal to 18 multiplied by 90 is 1620. Now let us collect the like terms. We have 32x here, we have 75x here. Once you add them together, you're going to get 107x. Then we have the constants. Let's see, 208 minus 300, that will give us negative 92. And this is equal to 1620. Let's take this one to the other side. We have 107x to the left. This is equal to 1620. As it crosses over, it becomes positive 92. So we have 107x equals 1620 plus 92. That's exactly 1712. So you divide both sides by 107. So x equals 1712 divided by 107. Take your calculator, press this, you're going to get 16 exactly. So the value of x is 16, and that is exactly what we are looking for. Now let us move on to question number 3. Here is our question number 3, which reads, a circular floor of a building is to be tiled with a ceramic tiles, each of sides 40 centimeter by 40 centimeter. If the perimeter of the floor is 66 meter, we're asked to calculate, correct to the nearest whole number, the number of tiles required to completely tile the floor. We are given pi as 22/7. All right, let's get started. Let's assume that this is the floor because they say it is a circular floor. So the perimeter P of this floor is 66 meters, which we can convert to centimeters by multiplying by 100. So this will be in centimeter, because you can see that the tile is in centimeters. So I just decided to convert this to centimeter, or you can even convert this to meter as well by dividing by 100, all the same. Remember that perimeter of a cycle is what? Given as 2 pi r. So this will be equal to 6,600 centimeters. And remember, we are given pi as 22 divided by 7. So this is 22 multiplied by 22 divided by 7 multiplied by r, which is the radius. This is equal to 6,600. So to find the value of r, which is the radius, this will be equal to 6,600. I can divide both sides by 2 first. Then I multiply by the reciprocal of this, which is 7 divided by 22. So this is what we are going to simplify to get our radius. So I can take my calculator and press 6600 multiplied by 7. That is 46,200. And I can divide by 2. If we divide by 2, that will be 23,100. Then we equally divide by 22. Divide by 22, and that would be 1050 centimeter. So this is the radius of the circular floor. So what will be the area of the floor? Area of the floor will be equal to pi r squared, which is equal to what? 22 divided by 7 multiplied by r squared, that is 1050 squared. Just use your calculator to take square of this. That will give us 1,102,500. Then you multiply that by 22. That will give us 22,250,000. 255,000. Then you divide the result by 7, and that will give us 3,465,000. So centimeter squared. So this is the area of the flow. But remember, we would like to find the number of tiles required to tile the whole flow, which is 40 by 40. So the area of the tile will be 40 multiplied by 40, right? Which is 1,000, or let me say 1,600 cm squared. So every single tile has this area, and this is the area of the flow. So to find the number of tiles required, we are going to take this and divide by this. So number of tiles required will be equal to 3,465,000 divided by 1,600. And if you divide, you're going to get 2,165.625, right? That is the number of tiles. But they said to the nearest whole number, therefore we are going to round it up, which is equal to 2,166 tiles required. And this is just the solution to this problem. We need 2,166 tiles in order to tile the whole of this circular flow. Now let us move on to question number 4. Here is our question number 4, which is under cycle theory. We're given a cycle here, which is ABCD with center O and the quadrilateral OBCD. So this quadrilateral here is rhombus, such that angle ADO is Y according to them, which is also equal to OBA. So this angle and this angle are the same. And angle BAD is given as what? T. So we asked to find the value of T, the value of Y, and measure of angle ADC. So let's get started. So if you don't want to be dealing with angles, you can insert some variables in the diagram, and that's exactly what we are going to do. So since this is a rhombus, remember that opposite angles are equal. So let me start with something here. This line here is a chord, and this chord subtends an angle to the circumference. The same chord subtends an angle to the center. So what can you remember about that? Angle subtended to the center is twice the angle subtended to the circumference from the same chord. So if this is T, this will be 2T. So this is 2T. So once you insert some variables in it, you can work with them. And remember that opposite angles of a rhombus are equal. Therefore, this particular angle will also be equal to 2T. And remember that this is an isosceles triangle. The chord and the two radii form an isosceles triangle, and the base angles are always the same. So if we call this one X, this will have to be equal to X, right? And since this line divide the rhombus into two equal parts, remember that this angle and this angle are the same. So the chord divides the rhombus into two. Therefore, this angle will also be equal to X. This will also be equal to X. So we are done. So now let's start by finding the value of T. That's A part. Just observe that this is a cyclic quadrilateral because all the vertices are touching the circumference. And if you have a cyclic quadrilateral, the opposite angles are always supplementary, meaning if you add them together, you're going to get 180 degrees, which implies by adding T and 2T together, we are going to get 180 degrees. So therefore, we say that T plus 2T is equal to 180 degrees. And this is 3T equal to 180, and T, which we are looking for, is equal to 180 divided by 3, which is equal to 60, and hence T is equal to 60. we're done with A part. Then the B part, we're asked to find the value of y. How can we find it? Remember that this is an isosceles triangle, or let me just say a triangle, and the sum of all the interior angles of a triangle equals 180. So by adding 2t and 2x together, we shall obtain 180 degrees. So the B part, remember our main target is to find the value of y. We have 2t plus 2x, that is 180 degrees. But what is 2t? That would be 2 multiplied by 60, because t is 60, plus 2x, that is equal to 180 degrees. Let's divide every single term by 2. If you divide this by 2, you divide this by 2, divide this by 2, we have 60 plus x equals 90, and x will be equal to 90 minus 60, and x finally equal to 30 degrees, right? So if x is 30 degrees, how can we find the value of y? Just pay attention to this triangle right here, ABD. By adding y, x, and t together, which are the interior angles of that triangle, we shall obtain 180 degrees. So let's add all of them together. We have t plus 2y plus 2x, right? So t plus 2y plus 2x, that is equal to 180 degrees. But what is t? Remember, t is equal to 60. We have 60 here plus 2y plus, what is 2x? If x is 30, 2x will be 60. Let me do that directly, please. And this is equal to 180 degrees. 2y plus 120, because 60 and 60 is 120. This remain 180. And 2y will be equal to 180 minus 120. And 2y will be equal to 60. And finally, y will be equal to 60 divided by 2, which is 30. So y is equal to 30. I think this is, yeah, the B part. Then the C part, we're asked to find the measure of angle ADC. What is ADC? ADC. So we are looking for a combination of y and 2x. Y and 2x. So angle ADC will be equal to the combination of y and 2x, right? So this will be equal to y is 30 degrees. 2 multiplied by x. What is x? X is 30 degrees. 30 degrees. So this is 30 plus 60. Yep. And this is equal to 90 degrees. So the required angle is 90 degrees, which is this angle right here. This is 90 degrees. Now let us move on to question number 5. Here is question number 5 of WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination, the theory part, which is related to probability. The question reads, a basket contains 3 gold-plated marbles, 4 diamond marbles, and some silver marbles, unknown, all of the same size and shape. 2 marbles were drawn from the basket at random, one after the other, without replacement. If the probability that the 2 marbles were all silver is 1 divided by 15, we're asked to find the number of silver marbles. All right, let's get started. We don't know the number of silver marbles, so let us declare it with a variable. So I have just declared the number of silver marbles with x. So we need the sample space as well. Or let me say number of marbles, all the same. So the number of marbles will be 3 gold, 4 diamond, and x silver. So let's add them together. We have 3 plus 4 plus x. And this together will give us 7 plus x. So 7 plus x is the number of marbles. So remember, we have first row and the second row, right? We're talking about probability here. So let me call this one P1, that's the first draw. It turns out to be silver, right? So it will be what? Number of silver divided by number of marbles. So number of silver will be X, and the total marble is 7 plus X. Remember, without replacement. So we expect the number of sample space to reduce by 1, as well as the number of silver. So in the second draw, the number of silver will reduce by 1, and the sample space will also reduce by 1. So we have 7 plus X minus 1 as well. So this will be what? X minus 1 divided by 6 plus X. So according to the question, if the probability that the two marbles were all silver is 1 divided by 15, so it means that the probability of picking this silver is 1 divided by 15, which is the same thing as first probability multiplied by the second probability. So this is 1 divided by 15 according to the question, and this will be, the first probability here is X divided by 7 plus X multiplied by the second, which is X minus 1 divided by 6 plus X. So now let us cross multiply. We're going to take 15 and multiply by the numerator. So that will be 15 multiplied by X multiplied by X minus 1. This will be equal to 1 multiplied by the whole of this. You know, 1 will not change anything, but let me just write it. 7 plus X multiplied by 6 plus X. So now let us expand. 15 times X is 15X, and that 15X times X, that will give us 15X squared. 15X times negative 1, that is negative 15X. Move to the other side. Already 1 will not change anything, so we take 7 and multiply by 6, that will give us 42. 7 multiplied by X, that will give us 7X. Then X times 6, that is 6X. X times X, that is X squared. So let's simplify this. This is 42 plus 13X plus X squared to the right, and to the left we still have 15X squared minus 15X. Let us take all terms to the left hand side. Already we have 15X squared here. As this one crosses over, it becomes negative X squared, and we have negative 15X to the left. As this crosses over, it becomes negative 13X. Then we have 42. As it crosses over, it becomes negative as well, and this is equal to 0. 15 minus 1 is 14X squared. Negative 15 negative 13 is negative 28X. Then we have minus 42. This is equal to 0. Now we have a quadratic equation, but I think all of these three terms are divisible by 14. So let's divide through by 14. This divide by 14 will give us X squared minus this divide by 14 is going to give us 2X minus 42 divided by 14 is 3. So this is equal to 0. So now to factorize this quadratic equation, we are going to think of two numbers which when we multiply them together we get this, but the moment we add the two numbers together we get negative 2, and I think the numbers should be negative 3 and positive 1, right? So this is X plus 1, X minus 3 equals 0. We set each factor to be equal to 0. So it is either X equal to 3 once you take it to the other side, or X equals negative 1. But remember, we are talking about number of marbles, so we expect a number to be positive. Therefore, the number of silver marbles is 3. And hence, this is just the solution to this problem. Now let us move on to section B. We're going to begin with question number 6. Here is question number 6 of WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Theory part, which is related to geometric progression. And the question reads, given that x plus 2, 4x plus 3, and 7x plus 24 are consecutive times of geometric progression GP, we're asked to find the value of x as well as the common ratio. All right, let's get started. In geometric progression, the common ratio, which is denoted by R, is always equal to any preceding term divided by the term before it. So we can take this and divide by this, which is 4x plus 3 divided by x plus 2. 4x plus 3 divided by x plus 2. The same thing if we take the last term here given and divide it by this one. So it will be 7x plus 24. 7x plus 24 divided by what? 4x plus 3. So we have just established a relationship here. This is a part, please. So by cross multiplication, we can take this and multiply by this. So it will be 4x plus 3 multiplied by 4x plus 3. This must be equal to x plus 2 multiplied by 7x plus 24. Let's expand. These two terms are exactly the same, so we can apply binomial expansion to the power of 2. So we take the first term, we square that will give us 16x squared, then plus 2 multiplied by 4x, that will give us 8x, and that 8x multiplied by 3 will give us 24x. Then the second term squared, that will give us 9. This is equal to x times 7x, that is 7x squared, x times 24, that is 24x, then 2 times 7x, that is 14x, and lastly 2 times 24, that is 48. From left to right we have a common 24x, so let's cancel them. We have 16x squared here. As this crosses over, it becomes negative 7x squared. Then we have 14x to the other side. Once it crosses over, it becomes negative 14x. Then we have 9 to the left. Then this, as it crosses over, it becomes negative 48. The whole of this equal to 0. This is 9x squared. 9x squared minus 14x, and this will give us negative 39. Now we have a quadratic equation, and how can we factorize it? First of all, let us take the leading coefficient and multiply by the constant. So let me do it elsewhere. We have 9 multiplied by negative 39, which is going to give us 351, right? Negative. So now to factorize this, we're going to think of two numbers, which when we multiply them together, we get this negative 351. But the moment we add them together, we shall obtain this coefficient of x. And the numbers are 13 and negative 27. So we're going to replace this with 13 minus 27x, right? So we have 9x squared plus 13x minus 27x. Then we have minus 39. This is equal to 0, right? So from the first two terms, what do we have in common? Just x. So we have x in the bracket. We have 9x plus 13. And from the second terms, we have negative 3 in common. So that the whole of this negative 27x divided by negative 3 will give us positive 9x. Then the whole of this divided by this will give us what? 13. And this remain equal to 0. Now since we have 9x plus 13 in common, let us bring it out. We have 9x plus 13 multiplied by x minus 3, right? X minus 3, and this is equal to 0. Now it is either the first factor 9x plus 13 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. So if you take 13 to the other side, it becomes negative. Then you divide by 9. X will be equal to negative 13 divided by 9. Then O, we take this one to the other side. We have x equals positive 3, right? So these are the two possible values of x. But remember, the B part, it stated that we should find the common ratio. But we know that common ratio is the same thing as 4x plus 3 divided by x plus 2. 4x plus 3 divided by x plus 2. But we have two values of x. So let's start with the first one. So when x is equal to 3, let me start with the first value here. When x is equal to 3, we have r1 to be equal to 4 multiplied by 3 plus 3 divided by 3 plus 2, right? This will be 12, and 12 plus 3 will give us 15. So this is equal to 15 divided by 3 plus 2 is 5, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So r1 is equal to 3. Then we have when x equal to, what is the other value? Negative 13 divided by 9. Negative 13 divided by 9. We're going to plug it into this relationship. We have r2 to be equal to 4 multiplied by x. 4 multiplied by negative 13 divided by 9. Then plus 3 divided by x plus 2, that is negative 13 divided by 9 plus 2. All right, let's simplify the top. 4 multiplied by negative 13, that will give us negative 52. So we have negative 52 divided by 9 plus 3 divided by, you can take this one and multiply by this, that will give us 18. Then 18 plus negative 13, that will give us 5. So this is 5 divided by 9. This is equal to, we have 9 multiplied by 3, that will give us 27. And 27 minus 52, that will give us negative 25. So we have negative 25 divided by 9. Let me use this division sign. Then we have 5 divided by 9 here. This is the same thing as negative 25 divided by 5, because if you are dividing with common denominators, you can always cancel them. So it is the same thing as this divided by this. And if you divide negative 25 by 5, you shall obtain negative 5. So r2 is equal to negative 5. So you can see that we have two values of r. R is either equal to, what is the first value? 3, or r is equal to negative 5. And this is said to be the solution to this question. Here is question number 7 of WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination, the theory questions. We are given a frequency table here. The question reads, the table shows the ages of 20 children in a household. Given that the ratio of x and y is 1 to 2. A, we are asked to find the values of x and y. B, we are asked to find the mean age of the children. All right, let's get started. Remember that since we have 20 children, it means that the summation of the frequency must be equal to 20. So now let us add the frequency and set it to be equal to 20. So the frequency, let me start with A part. The frequency, we have 2, that is the first one, plus 2x minus 1, the second one, then y plus 2, then 4, then 2, then y minus 1. The whole of this must be equal to 20, right? Let us collect the like terms. We have 2 minus 1 is 1, plus 2 is 3, plus 4 is 7, plus 2 is 9, minus 1 is 8. Therefore, the constant is 8. So this is 8 plus. Then the variables, we have 2x. Any other x? No. So we only have 2x here. Then just with y, we have y plus y, making 2y's. So we have 2y right here, and the whole of this equal to 20. We can take 8 to the other side. 2x plus 2y is equal to 20 minus 8, and 20 minus 8 is 12. So 2x plus 2y is equal to 12. We can divide every single term by 2. 2x divided by 2 will give us x. 2y divided by 2 is just y. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. Therefore, the sum of x and y equal to 6. Let's come back here. But we are given the ratio as 1 to 2. Let me bring it down here. The ratio is 1 to 2. So how can we find the value of x and y? Let us add the ratios together. The sum of the ratio, sum of ratios equals 3, because the moment you add this, you're going to get 3. So for x, remember that 1 represents x here. It will be 1 out of the total ratio, which is 3, then multiplied by the sum of x and y, which is 6. If you simplify this, 1/3 of 6 is equal to 2. So therefore, x is equal to 2. Then for y, which 2 represent out of 3, then you multiply by the total, which is 6. 3 can divide 6 exactly 2 times, and 2 times 2 will give us 4. This implies that y is equal to 4. So we have just obtained the values of x and y, and we are free to plug them back into the frequency table. Let me just copy the frequency table. All right, here is our frequency table, because I would like to answer the second part. We have 2x minus 1. What does that imply? It implies that 2 times x, 2 times 2 is 4. The minus 1 will give us 3. So I would like to substitute this with 3. Then we have y plus 2. Y plus 2 means 4 plus 2, which is 6. So I'm going to replace this with 6. Then lastly, we have y minus 1, which means 4 minus 1, which is 3. And you can confirm whether this is equal to 20, because according to the question, we have 20 children. So let's just add them. This plus this is 5 plus 6. We have 11 plus 4. We have 15, 17, 20. So this is correct. So the B part, remember that x bar is equal to summation of f of x divided by summation of f. But what is this f of x? It is nothing but the product of the age and the frequency, because this is x, this is f, remember. So let me form f times x here. If you multiply this together, you're going to get 10. 6 times 3 is 18. 7 multiplied by 6 is 42. Then 8 multiplied by 4 is 32. 9 multiplied by 2 is 18. 10 multiplied by 3 is 30. So we have just formed f of x. So what is the summation of f of x? Let us add all of them together. We have 10 plus 18 plus 42 plus 32 plus 18 plus 30. This is 150. So summation of f of x is equal to 150. Then we already know that the summation of f, which is the frequency, is 20. Once you add this together, you're going to get 20. So therefore x bar, which is equal to summation of f of x, is 150 divided by 20, and this is going to be is it 7.5? Yeah, 7.5. So the mean of these ages is 7.5. As simple as that. Now let us move on to question number 8. The question reads, two observers, Abu and Babu, who are 46 meters apart, observe a bird on a vertical pole from the same side of the bird. The angles of elevation of the bird from Abu and Babu's eye are 40 degrees and 48 degrees respectively. If at the foot of the pole, Abu and Babu are on the same horizontal ground. A. We are asked to illustrate the information in a diagram. B. We are asked to calculate, correct to one decimal place, the height of the pole. Alright, let's get started. The A part we are asked to illustrate. Before we start, I would like to tell you this question has two problems, but let's just illustrate it first. Let's assume we have a vertical pole right here, and it happens we have a bird situated somewhere here. We have two people who are on the same horizontal ground. So this is the horizontal ground. From their eye, according to the question, because the angle of elevation is from their eye. So you should take note of that. So this is Abu and this is Babu, right? So this one observe this bird here. This one also observe the bird. So this is the horizontal line, right? Remember, angle of elevation is from the horizontal line and the line of sight. So according to them, this angle right here is 40 degrees, while this one is 48 degrees. We're asked to find the height of the pole, which we can call y, and the total distance here down here, let's call it x. Remember, they are 46 meters apart, so this will be x minus 46 meters. So let me tell you the problem with this question. The question did not state the height of Abu and Babu. Secondly, we don't know whether they are of equal height or not. If you consider their height, you have to deduct it from the height of the pole, because look at it. If suppose they have equal height, let me call this one z height, let's call this one z. So this position will be z, and if we call this one y, let me take down this. The total height of the pole will be y plus z. But there is no way we can find the height of the pole without finding the value of z, which is impossible. So what the question wants from you is to neglect their height. Just neglect it. So let's construct it again. So this is the horizontal ground. Abu is situated somewhere here and the Babu is situated somewhere here. So this will be the angles. Something like this. So this will be 40 degrees, while this will be 48 degrees according to the question. So we are talking about people, and how can a horizontal level represent people? It's impossible, but let's just consider it like this. So this is the height. Remember that they are 46 meters apart. So if from here down here is x, then this length would be what? X minus 46. So since we have the opposite side and the adjacent side, we can use tan ratio. So let me start with this angle right here. So the B part, the tangent of 40 degrees, which is equal to opposite divided by the adjacent. The opposite is h, and the adjacent is x, which is the total length here. Then the other one, which is tangent of 48 degrees, which is this one, will be the opposite divided by the adjacent, which is x minus 46. So I think we can make x the subject here and substitute it into the second equation. So from this, okay, let me drop down this one so that we have two equations, 1 and 2. So this is our first equation, while this is the second one. So from equation number 1, you can switch tangent of 40 and x. So x will be equal to h divided by tangent of 40 degrees. This is our equation number 3. So now I would like to substitute equation 3 into equation number 2. So we put equation number 3 into equation number 2. So equation number 2 is tangent of 48 degrees, right, equals h divided by x minus 46. X is now h divided by tangent of 40 degrees. H divided by tangent of 40 degrees. Then remember, minus what? Minus 46. So to make this fraction a little bit clearer, let us multiply the top and the bottom by tangent of 40. So we have tangent of 48 degrees to the left. This is equal to h times tangent of 40. That is h tan 40 degrees. Divide by, once you multiply this by tangent of 40, you have only h minus 46 tangent of 40 degrees. So now I would like to find tangent of 48 and tangent of 40 degrees. Tangent of 48 is 1.11 in 2 decimal place. So we have 1.11. This is equal to, what will be the tangent of 40? Tangent of 40 will be 0.84. So we have h, or let me say 0.84 h divided by h minus, this is tangent of 40, which is 0.84. Then we multiply that by 46. Let me do it step by step. This is 46 multiplied by 0.84. Next, we have 1.11 to be equal to 0.84 h divided by h minus 46 multiplied by 0.84. This is 38.64. 38.64. Now I would like to cross multiply. Take the whole of these and multiply by this. So h times 1.11, that will be 1.11 h, then minus that 1.11 multiplied by 38.64. That will give us 42.89. This must be equal to this times 1, remember, right? So we have 0.84 h. So now let us collect the like terms. Take this one to the left and take this one to the right. 1.11 h minus 0.84 h, and this is equal to 42.89. So 1.11 minus 0.84, that will be 0.27. 0.27 h is equal to 42.89. And finally, we divide both sides by the coefficient of h. H will be 42.89 divided by 0.27. So this will be 158.851 and so on. But remember, they said to what? 1 decimal place. So we are going to make it 158.9 meters. So this is the height of the pole. Here is question number 9 of WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination, the theory questions. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. The question reads, the diameter of a cycle center O is 26 centimeter. If a chord PQ is drawn such that it is 5 centimeter from O to the center of the chord, we're asked to calculate correct to the nearest whole number the major of angle POQ, then the area of the minor segment formed by the chord PQ. We're asked to take pi as 22 divided by 7. All right, I've already constructed my cycle. This is a cycle and we have our diameter right here. It stated that we have another chord. So this is a chord and the chord is what? PQ. It stated that from the center to the chord, a line that comes from the center to touch the midpoint of the chord is 5 cm, right? According to the question. So let me call this point M. So we asked to find the major of angle POQ. What is POQ? It's P to O, then to Q. We are talking about this particular angle here. But we can focus on one of them because they are identical. Let me call this one theta. The other one will also be equal to theta as well. So since they said that the diameter is 26 cm, it means that the radius will be what? 13 cm. So this is a radius because from the center to any part of the circumference will be a radius. Then this is 5. We can use Pythagoras rule to find the side lengths. Because we have this side length, we have the hypotenuse. So this PM squared will be equal to 13 squared minus 5 squared. So this is equal to 169 minus 25. This is equal to 144. So this is PM squared, remember. So PM will be equal to the square root of 144. Which is equal to 12. So it implies that this is 12, and because they are identical, this is also 12. Since we are looking for this particular angle, we can say that sine of that angle is equal to opposite to that angle is 12, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 13. So the angle will be equal to sine inverse of 12 divided by 13. And sine inverse of 12 divided by 13 is equal to 67.38 degrees. So this is just theta. But what about the other theta? Because there are two, we are looking for the entire angle right here. So let me say that angle POQ, which we are looking for, is nothing but twice theta. Okay, let me just write theta here. So this is equal to 2 multiplied by 67.38. And if you multiply this by 2, you're going to get 134.76 degrees. But they say that to the nearest whole number, so this will be 135 degrees. So POQ is 135 degrees. So we have just answered the first question here, which is the A part. Let me mark it as A. Then the B part, we're asked to find the area of the minor segment. We're talking about this region here. So let me just copy the diagram. All right, so here is the diagram. We would like to find the area of this region. That is the minor segment because we have the major segment here. To find this, we need to find the area of the entire sector here. Once you are able to find the area of the entire sector, then you subtract the area of this triangle. What will be left will just be the area of the minor segment. So let's do that. So area of minor segment will be equal to the area of sector minus area of triangle. So what will be the area of sector? It will be the angle subtended out of 360 degrees multiplied by pi r squared minus area of triangle is what? Half the base times the height. Half the base times the height. So the angle subtended by that sector is what we have just obtained as 135. So we have 135 divided by 360, multiply by pi. They say we should use 22 divided by 7, and the radius is what? 13, right? So we have 13 squared minus the area of triangle is half. What is the base of that triangle? This is the base of the triangle. That is the length of the chord, which is 12 plus 12, which is 24. So this is 24. Then the height of that triangle is this 5 centimeters. So we have 5 right here. So let me take my calculator. So let me start from the left hand side. We have 135 multiplied by 22, that is 2,970. Then we multiply that by 13 times 13, right? 13 times 13. Altogether we have 501,930. That is our numerator. Then the denominator will be 360 multiplied by 7. That is 2,520. The minus half of 24 is 12, multiplied by 5 is 60. So this is 60. So we have 501,930 divided by 2,520. That is approximately 199.2 minus 60. Then 199.2 minus 60, that is 139.2. So this is 139.2. But they said to the nearest whole number, right? So therefore the area we are looking for is 139 cm squared. And this is just it. Now let us move on to question number 10. Question number 10A reads, in a man's will, he gave 2/5 of the total acres of his cocoa farm to his wife, and 1/3 of what is left to the family. The rest of the farm was to be shared among his 3 children in the ratio of 3 to 5 to 2. Given that the child who had the least share received 8 acres, we are asked to calculate Roman 1, the total acres the man left, Roman 2, the number of acres the wife received. Before we come back to 10b, let us answer 10a. So we have 10a right here. I would like to declare the number of acres with x. So let the number of acres be x. Remember that the wife received the first share of 2/5 of the total. So the wife, she received 2/5 of the total, which is x. And remember that of is multiplication. Once you multiply 2/5 by x, this will give us 2x divided by 5. Then we need to find the remainder. The remainder will be x, which is the total, minus the wife's share, which is 2x divided by 5. 5 times x is 5x, minus 2x is 3x. So this is 3x divided by 5. So this is what is left. And 1/3 of what is left is given to the family. So this is exactly what is left. So 1/3 of it will be given to the family. So we write it here. The family will receive 1/3 of the remainder, which is 3x divided by 5. Remember that this is multiplication as well. 3 will cancel 3. We just have x divided by 5. So x divided by 5 is what the family will receive. So let us find the remainder as well. The remainder will be 3x divided by 5 minus x divided by 5, because this is the share which the family received out of this, so we have to subtract it in order to get the remainder. This will be 2x divided by 5. Let's continue reading the question. And what is left in the end is shared among the 3 children in the ratio of 3 to 5 to 2. And the least share was what? 8 acres. So we have the ratio 3 to 5 to 2. And the sum would be equal to 10 if you add all the ratios together. And according to the question, the child with the least share, this will represent the least, which is 2 out of the total 10, multiplied by the remainder, the total number of acres left, which is 2x divided by 5. We are told that this person received 8. We are going to simplify this and solve for x. 2 times 2x, that will give us 4x. 10 times 5 is 50. This is equal to 8. 4x will be equal to 8 multiplied by 50. And this is 400, right? So x will be equal to 400 divided by 4. And x is equal to 100. So it implies that the total number of acres is 100. So there are 100 acres. We have answered the Roman 1. So we need to find this one. That is the wife share. Remember that she received what? 2x over 5. So wife share, which is 2x divided by 5, but we have just obtained the value of x to be 100, so this is 2 multiplied by 100 divided by 5. 2 times 100 is 200, divided by 5 is 40, so we have 40 acres. So she received 40 acres, and we are done with question number 10E. Let us move on to 10B. So here is 10B. The question reads, the list price of television set is $1,600. It can be purchased by deposit of $400 and the rest of the amount paid by 12-month installment at 25% per annum simple interest. If the television set is purchased by installment, we are asked to find the total cost of the television. Okay, since it is paid based on installment, the first amount deposited is 400, so we have to subtract it from 1,600. So first deposit is $400. So the outstanding amount would be 1,600 minus 400, and this will be $1,200. So this is the amount he needs to pay in 1 year, that is for 12 months at 25%. So we need to find the interest of this principal amount. So simple interest is equal to the principal multiplied by the rate multiplied by the time, that is number of years. This is equal to the principal, which is 1,200, multiplied by the rate. The rate is 25%, that is 25 divided by 100, multiplied by the time, which is just 1 year. So 2 zeros will cancel 2 zeros here, and 12 times 25 is 300. So this is $300. So the interest is going to add on top of this 1,200 would be 300. So remember, we asked to find the total cost of the television. Total cost would be the amount he deposited initially plus the amount left over, that is outstanding amount, that is 1,200, then plus the interest, which is 300. This will give us 1,600 plus this one is 1,900. So this is $1,900 altogether. So the cost of the television set, if at all it is being purchased based on installment, is $1,900. Now let us move on to question number 11, right? Question number 11A reads, find the equation of the line that passes through the origin, that's 1 point, and also passes through the point of intersection between these two lines, x plus 2y equal to 7 and x minus y equal to 4. So let's solve this first problem before we come back to 11b. Equation of the line y equal to mx plus c. This is equation of the line in slope-intercept form, right? First of all, you should know that this equation passes through the origin. So we have one point, which is 0, 0. Remember origin, if I have y and x axis, this is where we call the origin. So at this point, both x and y are equal to 0. So we need to find another point of intersection, and that can be obtained by solving these two equations simultaneously. So let's do that. The first equation is x plus 2y equals 7. And the second equation is x minus y equals 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, exactly. So we can subtract equation 2 from equation 1. So let's subtract. X minus x is 0. 2y minus y is 3y. So we have 3y here. 7 minus 4 is 3. If you divide both sides by 3, you have y to be equal to 1. And you can plug in y into this equation or any of the equations. So x minus y, but y is 1, equal to 4. And x is equal to 5. Once you take this one to the other side, it becomes positive, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So we have another point, which is 5, 1. 5 for x and 1 for y. So the equation, that equation has 2 points, 0, 0 and 5, 1. All right. And I told you it is equal to mx plus c. I remember that c here is y-intercept, exactly the point where the line crosses y-axis. But since it passes through the origin, c must be equal to 0. So our equation is just y equal to mx. We need to find m. M is the slope, which can be obtained by taking y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So I would like to call this one x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. So it will be 1 minus 0 divided by 5 minus 0. This is equal to just 1 divided by 5. So m is equal to 1 divided by 5. Therefore, the equation we are looking for is y equal to m, which is 1 divided by 5 times x. Remember, c is 0. So we only have mx. So this is the equation that passes through the origin, also passes through the point of intersection between these two lines given, this and this. So now let us move on to the B part. So here is the B part. The question reads, the ratio of the interior angle to an exterior angle of a regular polygon is 4:1. We're asked to find the number of sides of that irregular polygon, and we are also asked to find the value of the exterior angle as well as the sum of all the interior angles. All right, there's one thing you should know about regular polygons. In a regular polygon, all the interior angles are equal. They are identical, right? And the number of sides equal to the number of interior angles equal to the number of exterior angles. So let me give you an instance. B Roman 1. Suppose we have something like this. I don't know how it looks like, but this is just an example. These are what we call interior angles, and this one outside is what we call exterior angles. So this is interior and this is exterior. And one thing you should know about these exterior angles is that their summation is equal to 360 degrees, meaning if you add all the exterior angles together, you're going to get 360 degrees. Therefore, every single exterior angle will be equal to what? 360 degrees divided by n, because all of them are identical, I told you. So the exterior angle, please let me call it E, is equal to 360, forget about the degrees please, divided by n. And just observe, the interior angle plus exterior angle will give us 180 degrees. Definitely. So interior angle plus exterior angle equals 180 degrees because they are on the straight line. Therefore, if you are looking for interior angle, it will be equal to 180 minus the exterior angle, where exterior angle is what? 360 divided by n, which is equal to 180 minus 360 divided by n. Let's simplify this. We have n times 180 is 180n minus 360, then divide by n. So this is going to be our interior angle. This is exterior and this is interior. But the question stated that their ratio is what? 4 to 1. So the ratio of interior to that of exterior is equal to 4 to 1, which means that interior divided by exterior will be equal to 4 divided by 1. Now what is interior? Interior is just this one, which is 180n minus 360 divided by n. Then we divide it by the exterior, which is 360 divided by n. 360 divided by n. And this must be equal to 4 divided by 1. This is 4 divided by 1, right? So since we are dividing and we have equal denominators, we can just cancel them and divide the numerators. So this is 180n minus 360 divided by 360. This is equal to 4 divided by 1 is 4. 180 divided by 360 is 1 divided by 2, because 180 can divide itself exactly 1 time, so we have just n, and it can divide 360 exactly 2 times, minus 360 divided by 360 is equal to 1, and this is equal to 4. If you take this one to the other side, it becomes positive, so you have n divided by 2 to be equal to 4 plus 1 is 5. Then multiply both sides by 2, n will be equal to 10. But what is this n? N is just the number of sides. Number of sides. I told you n equals to the number of sides. So therefore, we have just answered the first one. It has 10 sides. Then Roman number 2, that is B Roman 2, we asked what? Find the value of exterior angle. And what is that exterior angle? It is defined by 360 divided by n. E is equal to 360 degrees divided by n, right? And n is already 10 from the previous answer. So therefore, E is equal to 360 divided by 10, and E is equal to 36 degrees. So every single exterior angle of that regular polygon is 36 degrees. Then the last question, we're asked to find the sum of all the interior angles. We have seen that the sum of interior plus that of exterior is equal to 180 degrees, right? So if exterior angle is 36, it implies that every single interior angle will be equal to 180 degrees minus 36. And this will give us 144 degrees. But we asked to find the sum of all the interior angles. But we have how many interior angles? 10. Because I told you number of sides equal to the number of angles. So to find the number of, okay, let me say sum of all the interior angles. Sum of all the interior angles will be equal to 144 degrees multiplied by 10, and this is equal to 1440 degrees altogether. But you can also use this formula. Why is the interior angle? You can see that here you can just substitute n here. N is 10, so you replace this with 10, you replace this with 10, simplify, you're going to get that 1440. We have different formulas. You can also use this one as a bonus. Let me give you sum equal to n minus 2 multiplied by 180, and n we have seen is 10, so we have 10 minus 2 multiplied by 180, and this is 8 multiplied by 180, and this will be 1440 degrees. So any way you follow, you're going to get the same answer. Question number 12a is under cycle theorem, and we are given a diagram right here. So in the diagram, the line PR is a tangent remember a tangent touches the circle at exactly one point, which is at Q. The major of POQ, which is an angle, is 56 degrees. POQ, we are talking about this angle. The line PO intersect another line SQ. So this line intersect this one at V, right? Such that the major of angle SVP is 109. SVP, so this particular angle right here. So we are asked to calculate the major of angle TQP and QTS. So let's start with this one before we come back to the B part, which is simplification. So TQP, let us locate it. TQP, we are talking about this angle. Let us call it X. Before we continue, let me remind you one theorem which stated that angles subtended to the center is twice the angles subtended to the circumference, if at all they are from the same chord. So look at it here. We have a chord TQ. It subtends an angle to the center. The same chord subtends another one to the circumference. All right, which implies that this angle is half of this one, right? So let me write it here. Angle TSQ, which is the angle subtended to the circumference, is half, or let me say twice it, equals the angle subtended to the center, which is TOQ. TOQ. All of these are angles, remember. So TSQ is equal to this divided by 2, but we have seen that this is 56, right? So this is 56 divided by 2. Therefore, TSQ must be equal to 28 degrees. So let me take it down. This is our solution. Remember, solution to which question? Question 12a, Roman 1. Then remember that from alternate segment theorem, it stated that the angle formed by the tangent and the chord, which I have marked as X, is always equal to that interior angle subtended to the circumference from the same chord. So this one right here, this particular angle must be equal to this one. So let me write it down here again. So angle TSQ is equal to angle TQP. TQP. You can even state the reason: angles on alternate segment. But we have already seen that TSQ is equal to 28, which I have written here, right? TSQ is 28. So let me just copy this one down. So if these two angles are equal, it implies that what we are looking for, angle TQP, must be equal to 28 degrees, and hence we have answered the Roman number 1. So now let us move on to Roman number 2, where we ask to find the major of angle QTS. QTS, everything here, a combination of two angles, right? But let me start with this small angle right here. Remember that this is an isosceles triangle, and an isosceles triangle, the base angles are equal. Why do I say it is an isosceles triangle? Because this is a radius and this is also a radius. So since the opposite sides are equal, this is an isosceles triangle. So to find this angle, let me call it OTQ. OTQ. We can subtract this angle from 180 and divide by 2. That is 180 degrees minus 56 degrees divided by 2. And 180 minus 56 will give us 124. If you divide it by 2, you're going to get 62 exactly. So this is 62 degrees. Let me copy this one as well. So we have obtained one of the angles, which is this one. This is 62. Then we need to find this particular angle in order to combine the two. But we have already seen that this is 28 degrees, right? This is 28 degrees. So we need to find this particular angle. How can we find it? Because this is a triangle. The sum of the interior angles are 180. So to find that angle STO, you can subtract the rest of the angles from 180. 180 minus 28 minus 109. These are the interior angles. If you subtract these two angles from 180, you're going to get 43 degrees. So let me copy this one as well. All right. So what are we looking for? We are looking for QTS. QTS. QTS is a combination of these two angles which we have just obtained, right? This one and this one. That is this and this. So this is equal to OTQ plus STO. And this will be equal to 62 degrees plus 43 degrees. And this is together equal to 105 degrees. And we have successfully solved the second part. Now let us move on to the B part, where we ask to simplify this, meaning to write it in the simplest form. So to simplify this, we are going to factorize every single expression here. Let's start with this one. To factorize it, you're going to take the leading coefficient and multiply by the constant term. That will be equal to -4. Then you think of two numbers, which when you multiply them together, you get -4. But the moment you add them together, you get the coefficient of the middle term, which is -3. And the numbers are 1 and -4. Just multiply these two numbers together, you shall obtain this one. And the moment you add them together, you shall obtain this. So let's factorize the top. This is equal to n plus 1 divided by the leading coefficient, which is 2. Then multiplied by n minus 4 divided by the leading coefficient. This is a shortcut to factorize a quadratic expression when the leading coefficient is not 1. So once you obtain the two factors, you divide by the leading coefficient. You do the same thing here. You take the leading coefficient, you multiply by the constant. That will give us 2 times 1 equal to 2. You think of two numbers that you can multiply together to get 2, but when you add them together, you get 3. And the numbers are what? 1 and 2. Just multiply them together. You must get 2, and once you add them together, you get 3. So this is going to be n plus 1 divided by the leading coefficient, multiplied by n plus 2 divided by the leading coefficient. Then you multiply by the other expression. N squared minus 1 is the same thing as n squared minus 1 squared, because 1 and 1 squared mean the same thing. So this is difference of two squares, which can be factorized as n minus 1 multiplied by n plus 1, right? You divide by 4 can be written as 2 squared. So the whole of the denominator here is n squared minus 2 squared, which is also difference of 2 squared. This is n minus 2 and n plus 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So let me write it as n plus 1 over 2 multiplied by n minus 2 divided by n plus 1 over 2 multiplied by n plus 1, because 2 divided by 2 is 1, multiplied by n minus 1 multiplied by n plus 1 divided by n minus 2 multiplied by n plus 2. So let's see if we have anything to cancel. Yeah, you can see that this will take care of this, this will take care of this, and this will cancel this. What do we have left? We only have this divided by this. So finally, we have our solution to be n minus 1 divided by n plus 2. As simple as that. This is the simplified version of our expression. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Now let us move on to question number 13. Here is question number 13, which is the last question for WAEC 2024 mathematics examination, the theory questions. Question number 13a is on the cycle theorem. We are given a diagram here, and it stated that in a diagram ABT is a cycle. You can see that here ABT is a cycle with the center O. PQ, which is a straight line, is a tangent to the cycle at T. So PQ is a tangent which touches the cycle at exactly one point, which is at T. And ABC is a straight line. ABC is a straight line. TC, which is also a straight line, bisects angle BTQ. So you can see TC right here, it bisects angle BTQ, meaning it divides this angle into two equal parts. So let me mark it. So if this is X, this must be X as well, because they are equal according to the question. The measure of angle BAT is 44 degrees. So you can see that BAT is 44 degrees and PTA is 60 degrees. PTA is 60 degrees. We're asked to find the measure of angle ACT. ACT, so we are talking about this particular angle. Let me call it Y. All right, let's get started. You should know that this particular angle is 60 degrees according to what? Alternate segment theorem, because it stated that angle formed by a chord and a tangent is always equal to that interior angle subtended to the circumference from the same chord. So the same chord subtends this angle to the circumference. So according to alternate segment theorem, they are exactly the same. So let me make a statement right here. Angle ATP is equal to angle ABT. Reason alternate, or let me say angles on alternate segments. So if this is the case, we conclude that ABT is equal to 60 degrees. Therefore, ABT is equal to 60 degrees. Then, we need to find this angle right here. Remember, I told you that this line bisects the angle BTQ. Therefore, if this is X, this must be X. The same thing, according to alternate segment theorem, this angle and everything here are equal, right? So we say that BAT, let me write it, BAT is equal to BTQ. You state the reason, angles on alternate segments. Therefore, angle BTQ will be 44 degrees, right? All right. Then we need to find this particular angle right here, this one, which is BTC. BTC will be equal to half, because this line bisects the angle, so they are equal, right? BTQ divided by 2, which is equal to 44 divided by 2. And this is equal to what? 22 degrees. Therefore, BTC is equal to 22 degrees. We are almost done. Then we also need to find this particular angle, which is TBC. Angle TBC will be equal to 180 minus this angle, right? it is equal to 180 degrees minus ABT. Why? Because they are on the straight line. I remember angles on a straight line equals 180, or they are supplementary. But we have already seen that this particular ABT is equal to 60 degrees from here. ABT is 60 degrees. So this is equal to 180 degrees minus 60 degrees, which is equal to 120 degrees. So TBC is equal to 120 degrees. Our main goal is to find ACT, which is this angle. So ACT plus TBC plus BTC equals 180 degrees. So let me write it down here. ACT plus TBC plus BTC equals 180 degrees. Why? Because this is a triangle. This particular region is a triangle, and the sum of all the angles in a triangle equals 180 degrees. So the angle we are looking for is ACT. What is TBC? TBC is 120 degrees. So ACT plus 120 degrees plus, what is BTC? BTC is 22 degrees. We have 22 degrees here. This is equal to 180 degrees. ACT plus this together is 142 degrees equals 180 degrees. And finally, ACT, which we are looking for, is equal to 180 degrees minus 142. And this will give us exactly 38 degrees, which implies that ACT is 38 degrees, this particular angle, which is right here. But suppose you are dealing with objective questions, you can just do that mentally, or you can do rough work. You know that this and this are equal according to alternate segment, so you can just mark this one as 60. Then you know that these two together is 44, but since this line bisects the angles, you divide them mentally, and this will give you 22. And I know that these two angles together equals 180, so if this is 60, this must be 120. And I know that these three angles, 1, 2, 3, will give us 180. So the moment I subtract these two angles from 180, that will give us this. So 180 minus 120, that is 60 degrees, and 60 minus 22 will give us 38. So I will write 38 here in case of objective questions. Alright, now let us move on to 13b. Alright, so here is 13b. The question reads, the circumference of the base of a cylindrical tank is 11 meters. The height of the tank is 3 meters, more than 6 times the radius. You ask to calculate the radius, the height, and the volume of the tank. Okay, let us make a sketch here. Suppose we have a tank. So let's assume this is a tank. So it stated that the circumference of the base, remember circumference of a cycle, is given as 11 meters here. Then, okay, let me start with Roman number 1. We know that since we are looking for the radius, we know that circumference is given as 2 pi r, right? And the circumference is already given as 11 meters. So let us write 11 here. So to find the radius, we say that, well, we know that pi is 22/7 according to Nigerian curriculum. So this is 2 multiplied by 22 divided by 7 multiplied by r, and this is equal to 11. This together we have 44/7. 44/7 times r equals 11. And to find r, we are going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this, which is 7/44. So it will be 11 multiplied by 7/44. And 11 can divide itself one time, and it can divide 44 exactly 4 times. So you can see that the radius is equal to 7 divided by 4 meter. Okay, what do we need to find next? The height. Roman number 2, we are looking for the height. But they say that the height of this cylinder is 3 more than 6 times the radius. So it is equal to 3 more than 6 times the radius. Therefore, h is equal to 3 plus 6 multiplied by the radius, and the radius is 7 divided by 4. 7 divided by 4. Okay, let me make the cancellation here. I know that 2 can divide 4 exactly 2 times, and 2 can divide 6 exactly 3 times. So we say that h is equal to 3 plus 3 times 7 is 21. 21 divided by 2, right? And we say that 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. And 6 plus 21 will give us 27. So h is equal to 27 divided by 2 meter. We are done with Roman number 2. And lastly, we are looking for the volume. And volume is equal to pi r squared h. Remember. So v is equal to pi, which is 22 divided by 7, multiplied by radius squared. Radius is 7 divided by 4. 7 divided by 4 multiplied by 7 divided by 4. That is squared. Then multiplied by the h. h is 27 divided by 2. 27 divided by 2. Okay, let me make a cancellation here. 7 will cancel 7, right? 2 can go into 2 exactly one time, and the same 2 can go into 22 11 times. So let us multiply them all together. 11 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 27, that is 2079, divided by 4 times 4 is 16. If you divide by 16, you're going to get 129.34 in 2 decimal places meter cubed. And this is the end of WAEC 2024 mathematics examination theory questions. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye bye.